Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is part one of our AZ-900 exam preparation series. If you're preparing for the Microsoft Azure Fundamentals certification, be sure to check the complete course link in the description. Let's get started. Question one. You have an on-premises network that contains several servers. You plan to migrate all the servers to Azure and need to recommend a solution to ensure that some of the servers are available if a single Azure data center goes offline. What should you include in the recommendation? Options. A. Low latency. B. Fault tolerance. C. Scalability. D. Elasticity. The question is asking, if one data center goes down, how do you keep servers running? This is about surviving failure, not speed or growth. Focus keyword, available if a data center goes offline. Correct answer, B. Fault tolerance. Why fault tolerance is right. Fault tolerance is the ability to stay up and running even when a component fails. Azure builds redundancy into its architecture. If one data center goes down, another takes over. Azure availability zones support this with a 99.99% SLA. Why the other options are wrong. Option A. Low latency refers to minimizing network delay. It has nothing to do with keeping servers available during a data center failure. Option C, scalability, is the ability to increase or decrease resources for a given workload. It does not protect against data center outages. Option D, elasticity, means automatically adjusting resources based on demand. Again, unrelated to data center failure protection. Quick memory tip, fault tolerance equals keep running even when something breaks. Question 2. A company is planning to host an application on a set of virtual machines. Virtual machines are going to be running for a prolonged duration of time. Which of the following should be considered to reduce the overall cost? Options. A. Azure Resource Groups. B. Azure Reservations. C. Virtual machine scale sets. The question is about long-running VMs and reducing cost. Key phrase. Prolonged duration. This hints at a pre-commitment pricing option. Think. Predictable workload equals best cost savings tool. Correct answer, B. Azure Reservations. Why Azure Reservations is right. Azure Reservations let you prepay for VMs for 1 or 3 years, saving up to 72% compared to pay-as-you-go pricing. It's the ideal choice for workloads that run continuously over a long period. Why the other options are wrong. Option A. Azure Resource Groups are just logical containers for organizing resources. They do not reduce costs at all. Option C. VM scale sets help you auto-scale VMs up or down with demand. Useful for elasticity, but they don't save money for long-running, predictable workloads. Quick memory tip. Long-running VM equals Azure Reservations. Commit early, pay less. Question 3. You are running a virtual machine in a public cloud using IaaS. Which model correctly reflects how that resource is managed? Options. A. User management model. B. Serverless model. C. Shared responsibility model. D. Consumption-based model. The question is about how management is divided between you and the cloud provider. With IaaS, Microsoft manages the hardware. You manage the OS and applications. Think, who is responsible for what? Correct answer, C. Shared responsibility model. Why shared responsibility model is right. In IaaS, Microsoft handles the physical infrastructure, servers, storage, networking, while you manage the OS, runtime, and applications. This split of duties is exactly the shared responsibility model. As you move from IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, Microsoft takes on more responsibility. Why the other options are wrong. Option A, user management model, is not a real Azure or cloud computing model. Option B, serverless model, refers to a computing approach where you don't manage servers at all, like Azure Functions, opposite of IaaS. Option D, consumption-based model, is a pricing model, pay for what you use, not a management model. Quick memory tip, IaaS equals shared responsibility. Microsoft owns the hardware, you own the rest. Question 4, which of the following options can you use to link virtual networks? Options. A, multi-chassis link aggregation. B, network address translation. C, virtual network peering. D, dynamic host control protocol. The question is asking, what Azure feature connects two virtual networks together? Key phrase, link virtual networks. This is a direct clue. Focus on Azure native networking features. Correct answer, C, virtual network peering. Why virtual network peering is right. Azure Virtual Network Peering allows you to seamlessly connect two Azure virtual networks, routing traffic between them privately using Microsoft's backbone network. No public internet involved. It can be within the same region, VNet peering, or across regions, global VNet peering. Why the other options are wrong. Option A, multi-chassis link aggregation is a hardware networking concept for physical switches, not an Azure service. Option B, network address translation, NAT, translates private IPs to public IPs. It does not link virtual networks. Option D, dynamic host control protocol, DHCP, automatically assigns IP addresses. It doesn't link virtual networks. Quick memory tip, link VNet equals virtual network, peering equals 2 networks, 1 private bridge. Question 5. How can an architect allow some users to control the virtual machines in each environment, but prevent them from modifying networking and other resources in the same resource group or Azure subscription? Options. A. Create a policy in Azure Policy that audits resource usage. B. Create a role assignment through Azure Role-Based Access Control, Azure RBAC. C. Split the environment into separate resource groups. The question is about giving specific users access to only VMs, not everything. Key phrase, prevent them from modifying networking and other resources. This is about fine-grained permission control. Correct answer, B. Create a role assignment through Azure Role-Based Access Control, Azure RBAC. Why Azure RBAC is right. Azure RBAC lets you create and assign roles that define exactly what users can do. You can assign a virtual machine contributor role so users can manage VMs only without touching networking or other resources. It works at the subscription, resource group, or individual resource level. Why the other options are wrong. Option A, Azure Policy audits compliance and can enforce rules, but it doesn't grant or restrict user-level permissions on specific resource types. Option C, splitting into separate resource groups adds complexity and still doesn't restrict which resource types a user can modify within a group. Quick memory tip, Azure RBAC equals right person, right access, right resource, nothing more. Question 6. Exam note, this question requires you to evaluate the text inside to determine if it is correct. Azure Firewall secures websites from attacks and generates reports that contain details of attempted attacks. Select Note No Change Needed if the above statement is correct. Otherwise, select the correct answer. Options. A. No change needed. B. DDoS protection. C. Network Security Group, NSG. D. Azure Information Protection, AIP. The question asks which Azure service protects websites from attacks and generates attack reports. Azure Firewall is placed in brackets. Your job is to decide if it fits. Think, which service is specifically built for attack mitigation and reporting? Correct answer, B, DDoS protection. Why DDoS protection is right. Azure DDoS protection is purpose-built to defend public-facing websites and endpoints from distributed denial-of-service attacks. It also generates detailed telemetry and reports about attack traffic, exactly what the question describes. Azure Firewall focuses on network traffic filtering, not DDoS defense. Why the other options are wrong. Option A. Azure Firewall is a stateful network firewall for controlling traffic flow. It does not specialize in website attack protection or generating DDoS attack reports. Option C. NSGs control traffic at subnet or NIC level using allow-deny rules. They have no reporting capability for attacks. Option D. Azure Information Protection, AIP, classifies and labels sensitive data, completely unrelated to website security or attack reporting. Azure Information Protection, A, is now part of Microsoft Purview Information Protection under the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. Quick memory tip, website attacks plus reports equals DDoS protection equals block the flood, log the evidence. Question 7, exam note. This question requires you to evaluate the text inside to determine if it is correct. A support plan solution that gives you best practice information, health status and notifications, and 24/7 access to billing information at the lowest possible cost is a standard support plan. Select No Change Needed if the above statement is correct. Otherwise, select the correct answer. Options: A. Developer, B. Basic, C. Professional, Direct, D. No change needed. The question describes a support plan with basic features at the lowest cost. Your job: identify which plan matches. Standard is in brackets and might be wrong. Key phrase: lowest possible cost. Correct answer: B. Basic. Why Basic is right. The Basic support plan is included free with every Azure subscription. It provides best practices guidance, health status and service notifications, and 24/7 access to billing and subscription support. It is the lowest cost, free option, making standard in the question incorrect. Why the other options are wrong. Option A: Developer plan provides business hours technical support and is not free. It costs money and is not the lowest tier. Option C: Professional Direct is a premium plan offering fast response times and proactive guidance, far more expensive than Basic. Option D: No change needed is wrong because the statement says standard, but the correct answer is Basic. Quick memory tip: lowest cost plus billing access equals basic support equals free plan, but still got your back. Question 8. Which of the following is used when someone is only concerned about the code running the service instead of the underlying platform or infrastructure? Options: A. Azure Container, B. Azure Functions, C. Logic App, D. Azure App Service. The question is asking about a service where you only care about your code. Nothing else. Key phrase: not the underlying platform or infrastructure. This is a classic definition of serverless FaaS, function as a service. Correct answer: B. Azure Functions. Why Azure Functions is right. Azure Functions is a serverless compute service. You write your code, choose your language, and Azure handles everything else: OS, runtime, scaling, patching. It's specifically designed for scenarios where you're only concerned about the code, not the infrastructure. Why the other options are wrong. Option A: Azure containers provide isolated execution environments, but they still require managing underlying infrastructure through services like AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. Option C: Logic apps automate workflows and orchestrate tasks using connectors. You cannot run fully custom code with Logic apps. Option D: Azure App Service lets you build and host web mobile apps, but it has platform-level concerns like hosting plans, scaling configs, and app settings. You're still aware of the platform. Quick memory tip: only care about code, Azure Functions. Write code, forget the servers. Question 9. Your company has decided to migrate some of its services to Microsoft Azure. The company wants to make sure that services deployed to Azure virtual machines are available if a single data center fails. Select 2 correct options. Options: A. You deploy the virtual machines to 2 or more resource groups. B. You deploy the virtual machines to 2 or more regions. C. You deploy the virtual machines to 2 or more scale sets. D. You deploy the virtual machines to a scale set. E. You deploy the virtual machines to 2 or more availability zones. The question is about high availability when a single data center fails. You need 2 correct answers. Think geographically separated deployments. Key phrase: single data center fails. Correct answer: B. You deploy the virtual machines to 2 or more regions. And E. You deploy the virtual machines to 2 or more availability zones. Why these 2 are right. Availability zones are physically separate data centers within the same Azure region. If one zone goes down, the others keep running. Multiple regions spread VMs across completely different geographic locations, ensuring availability even if an entire regional data center fails. Why the other options are wrong. Option A: resource groups are logical containers. They don't affect physical placement or availability. VMs in multiple resource groups can still be in the same data center. Option C: 2 or more scale sets don't guarantee separation across data centers unless explicitly configured with zone or region distribution. Option D: A single scale set offers no protection against a data center failure by default. Quick memory tip: survive data center failure equals availability zones or multiple regions equal spread it out, stay up. Question 10. How can an organization ensure that certain VM workloads are physically isolated from workloads being run by other Azure customers? Options: A. Run the VMs on Azure dedicated host. B. This is not possible. These workloads need to be run on premises. C. Run the VMs on different availability sets. D. Configure the network to ensure that VMs on the same physical host is isolated. The question is about physical isolation, not logical or network level separation. Key phrase: physically isolated from other Azure customers. This is often a compliance regulatory requirement. Correct answer: A. Run the VMs on Azure Dedicated Host. Why Azure Dedicated Host is right. Azure Dedicated Host provides physical servers dedicated exclusively to your organization. No other customer's VMs share that hardware. This is essential for organizations with strict regulatory compliance requirements that mandate physical isolation, such as government, finance, or healthcare sectors. Why the other options are wrong. Option B: this is completely false. Azure Dedicated Host is specifically designed to solve this problem in the cloud. Option C: availability sets distribute VMs across fault and update domains for resilience. They do not provide physical isolation from other customers' workloads. Option D: network configuration can isolate traffic, but it cannot control which physical server a VM runs on. Only dedicated host gives you that control. Quick memory tip: physical isolation from other customers equals Azure Dedicated Host, your server, your hardware, no sharing.